Hare Krishna, Devananda Pandit Prabhu, can you hear us? Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Prabhuji. Can you hear us?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, can you hear us, Prabhuji? We can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Prabhuji?
Haribol, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Haribol.
We can hear you. Can you hear us? Looks like there is some problem, Prabhuji. There is some audio.
So we can all hear you, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'll just chat.
Haribol, is my sound audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Your sound is audible.
But I'm not getting a response from anyone. But just ask, everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
No, what I am asking, just ask all the devotees if they can hear me.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Prabhuji, I've sent a chat. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Can you hear us, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Can you hear us? Prabhuji is not on mute, right? No, he's not on mute.
Prabhu,
So Haribol, so somehow there is some audio problem with me. I can't hear whether all of you are getting. So I'll start the program. If there is some fault in between, so you can phone me. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we can ask him to join again.
Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swakadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Panta Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. So I was being told to speak on the Jagannath pastimes. So today, this class I'll speak into 3 parts. So first part, I'll briefly speak about the manifestation of Lord Jagannath, the pastime. Then secondly, in second part, I will cover the important places of Jagannath Puri. And in part 3, we'll speak some pastimes about Lord Jagannath and devotees with whom Lord Jagannath reciprocated. So now first we'll start with Jagannath Puri. If we see in India, in 4 yugas, there are 4 holy places mentioned. So if you want, you can go through the screen, but this PowerPoint is in Hindi. So Jagannath Puri has different names. So one name is called Sri Kshetra, because Krishna is full of 6 opulences. So Jagannath Puri is called Sri Kshetra. Then it is called Jagannath Kshetra, because Lord Jagannath is presiding there. So it is called Jagannath Kshetra. Then also it is called Mrityu Vaikunta. Mrityu Vaikunta means because this holy abode is situated in the earthly planet. So that's why it is called Mrityu Vaikunta. Then Vipralamba Kshetra. So Vipralamba Kshetra means where Lord Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra, they are very desperate when they will get an opportunity to go to Vrindavan. So that's why it's called Vipralamba Kshetra. Then it is also called Dasha Avatara Kshetra. So if somebody has gone to Jagannath Puri, you will find there the people and the shops they are selling the Lord 10 pastimes of the Lord, where it is called Dasha Avatara. There is one song also, Dasha Avatara Stotra by Jayadev Goswami. Then also it is called Bhu Vaikunta. because what we see, there are so many pastime places of the Lord on this earthly planet, like Pandharpur, or we have Tirupati Balaji. They are also called Bhuvaikuntha. Then it's called Shankha Kshetra. Shankha Kshetra means basically the landscape of Jagannath Puri. It looks like that of this thing, one conch. That's why it is called Shankha Kshetra. Then it is called Neelachala Kshetra, because once upon a time, actually, there was a king by name Indradumna, and during his period of time, there was a big mountain called Niladri Parvat. And that time, the Lord was there in the name of Neelamadhav. Then it is called Durlabha Kshetra. Durlabha means everyone can't attain Jagannath Puri. So very few, those who are blessed, they can make it to Jagannath Puri. Then it is also called Krandana Kshetra. Krandana means crying. So what we see, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there 18 years. And most of the time, what we can see in Chaitanya Charitamrita in Antya Leela, it is mentioned that oftentimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to cry and he used to call out for Krishna. Oftentimes he used to see Krishna's Rasila pastimes. So this way, these are different names given to Jagannath Puri. So now I'll speak about the manifestation of Jagannath Puri. So there are certain scriptures where it is mentioned. So Jagannath pastimes are the most old among all the old pastimes. So what they mention, it is more than 15 years old, the Jagannath pastimes, they are continuing since that time. So it is mentioned that there was a king by name Indradumna. And this king, he was opulent, he had everything, but still he was not happy. So one time what happened, he was sitting in his court and a pilgrim, he came by and he told, "O king, so there is a mountain nearby, Niladri Parvat. So on this mountain top, there is the Lord is there in the name of Neelamadhav. So most of the demigods, they come and they worship him. So why don't you go and have a darshan? So all your anxieties, worries, they will go away." So the king was not certain what this person was speaking. So the king, he deputed his minister. So he sent his minister and he told, "You go and find out whereabout of Neelamadhav." So the name of the minister was Vidyapati. So Vidyapati, he came all the way around to this mountain, and below the mountain there was a sect of people living. They were called like the Suarpal. In English, what we can say is like pig keepers. So there was one person, he was the chief of all this village. His name was Vishwavasu. So Vidyapati, he stayed in that village, and what he observed that this Vishwavasu every day morning during Brahma Muhurt, he goes out of the house and he comes in the late afternoon. And when he comes home, there is a nice fragrance and he brings some prasad. So what happened, after a certain period of time, he got married with his daughter of Vishwavasu. Her name was Lalita. So what happened, after certain time, Vidyapati, he told his wife, "Why don't you tell your father to take me for the darshan of Neelamadhav?" So somehow she spoke to her father and he said, "Okay." He said, "I'll take only once through, but I'll take him blindfold. I'll put on patti on his eyes, so he should not make out his path on his own." So, but this Vidyapati was very intelligent. So what he did, he took some mustard seeds in his pocket while he was being taken by Vishwavasu to this hill, Niladri Parvat. So it was a long walk. And while they were walking, Vidyapati could hear so many wild animals and birds. So this way, after certain time, they reached over there. And what happened when they arrived there? So Vishwasu, he opened the blindfold of Vidyapati. And what happened that time? The demigods, they were worshipping Lord Nilamada. Brahma, Shiva, Narada, the Chatushkumar, all other demigods, they were there. So Brahma, what he did, he offered one nice garland from the heavenly flowers. And after worshipping Lord Nilmadhav, all the demigods, they went away. So Vishwasu and Vidyapati, they were hiding in one bush and they were seeing how the demigods, they were worshipping the deities. So the moment the demigods, they left, so Vishwasu and Vidyapati, so they came inside the temple. And what happened, Vishwasu, what he told, now I am going to do the worship, what I do every day. So he told Vidyapati, you are a very learned scholar, so you can offer some prayers to Neil Madhav. Meantime, I'll go and I'll get some nice flowers and some roots and fruits for Neil Madhav. So this way, what happened when Vishwasu he left? So Vidyapati, he was taking a sidewalk of the temple all around. He was looking. So he happened to see one nice lake, and it was very deep. And surrounding the lake, there were long, tall trees were there. So there was one crow. He was sleeping on one of the trees, and all of a sudden, what happened? This crow, his balance was lost, and he fell in that lake. And what happened to the surprise of Vidyapati? So what he saw, this crow, he turned into a celestial Vaikuntha-vasi, four-handed, and a celestial plane came, and that person, he went to Vaikuntha. So saying this, Vidyapati, he got so much elated. What he thought, okay, if I go top of the tree and if I jump, maybe I'll also become four-handed and I'll go to Vaikuntha. So thinking in this way, he started climbing the tree. So suddenly there was one sound, celestial sound. So it was heard by Vidyapati that don't forget that you have come on Lord's mission, and without helping the king, how you can do this kind of action? So better you finish your duties to the king. So Vidyapati, he came down, then he went inside the temple and he started glorifying the Lord Nilmadhav. And what he told, see, my king, he is very desperate to worship you. So he wants to build a very nice temple for you. And he wants to offer you whatever he has. So when Vidyapati was offering his prayers, so meantime Vishwasu, he came there with flowers and roots and fruits. So he overheard the name Indradumna. So he asked Vidyapati, what is this Indradumna you are speaking? So he said, nothing, I was just telling Lord that my king too wants to worship Nilmadhav. So then Vidyapati, what he did, he started worshipping the Lord. So he took out the garland which was put by Brahma, and that garland he gave as a gift to Vidyapati. So later on, Vishwasu, he did an elaborate worship of Nilmadhav. And after doing the worship of Nilmadhav, so offering the fruits and other thing, so it was the time so to go down. So meantime, what happened? The Lord suddenly spoke up. So the Lord said to Vishwasu, I am very much happy with service you have been rendering to me since so many years. So now there's a very nice king, King Indradumna, is very charitable. So he wants to worship me. So what I think, maybe he can take me to his palace and there he can worship me. So hearing this, Vishwasu, he was somewhat heartbroken. Somehow he didn't respond to the Lord. So then he came down, he again blindfolded Vidyapati, and he came down and he tied Vidyapati in his Goshala. So he went to his house. So meantime, Vidyapati was crying, shouting for help. So his wife came and Lalita she asked, yes, what happened? So Vidyapati he told what exactly took place, and he told now this is a high time for me to go and inform the king. So Vidyapati he told Lalita that it will take him like 1 month to go and 1 month to come back. He told within 2 months I'll be back. So this way Vidyapati he went to the kingdom of King Indradumna and he informed all the things that happened. So the king was very much happy. So what he said, okay, now we'll go with a small army and we'll take again darshan of Lord Nilmadhav. This way, Vidyapati he escorted the king and the army. So they came all the way to this Nilmadhav mountain, and the king and Vidyapati both they started walking uphill. So what happened in meantime, the Vidyapati, whatever the mustard seeds he had thrown on the path 2 months back, so that mustard, the small plants had come out, and Vidyapati could make out the exact path up to the high hills, and ultimately they arrived on the hilltop, and the temple, it was the doorway closed. So Vidyapati, he opened the doors, and to the surprise of the king and Vidyapati, what happened? So there were no deities of Lord Nilmadhav. So the king was heartbroken. And by this time, Vidyapati, he felt little suspicion. So what he thought, maybe this Vishu also, he must have kept the Lord hidden somewhere else, feeling that maybe the king will come and take away the Lord. So meantime, the king went down with the minister and with his army, he surrounded the village from all sides. And he wanted to make captive Vishwashu. But meantime, the king heard one celestial voice in which the Lord, he spoke himself, O king, don't bind this Vishwashu. So by my own will, I have disappeared, but I can again reappear after a certain time. So provided if you build a very nice temple and you go and inform Lord Brahma, so Brahma will come along with all the demigods and you can celebrate a big Rath Yatra. This way, the king made a mutual understanding with the this Vishwasu, and Vishwasu, with the help of all his villagers, they built a very nice temple. And when everything was ready, the king he went to Brahmaloka. So when he arrived in Brahmaloka, what he found that Brahmaji is busy in a meeting, so he had to wait. So after some time, Brahma was free, and when he met the king, so the king he gave the invitation for Brahma to come and celebrate the Rath Yatra. So Brahma he gave a small laugh, and what he said, O king, now on earthly planet, and here the time difference is there. On your earthly planet, everything has disappeared. Now your temple, it was one time it was covered with complete sand from the ocean. Now another king, he has taken out the sand. Another king is ruling there. Now almost 25 generations have passed. So now King Indradumna, he was in a dilemma what to do. Brahma, he said, okay, no problem. So you go down, and after some time, some logs will come from Vaikuntha, from the ocean. So you retrieve those logs, bring them to the temple. A celestial sculptor will come and he will carve the deities from those logs. So King Indradumna, he came down. So meantime, the king who was ruling there, So when he heard from King Indradumna that I had built this temple, so he got upset and a fight was about to ensue. But what happened? So there was a celestial crow. His name was Kag Bhushandi. So what happened? Kag Bhushandi, he said, okay, please listen to me. There is no need to fight for a good cause. So Kag Bhushandi, he told exactly what happened in that place in last 25 generations. So both the kings, they heard very patiently. So now Kag Bhushandi, what he told, as the Lord is going to come to the ocean, so better you cooperate and you can celebrate the Lord's appearance. So after some time, what happened? The king got the news that some wooden logs they are coming from the ocean to the shore. So the king he retried those logs and he brought them on the chariot to the temple. And what happened? The king was looking for the sculptor. So after some time, a very lean and old person came over there. Actually, he was Vishwakarma. He came in a disguise as an old man with all his instruments. So what he told, it will take me 21 days to carve the deities. So no one should come and disturb me. I'll close the temple from inside. I'll single-handedly I'll carve these deities. So the king was impatient. So somehow the work was going on. Every day they come, the king used to come and put on his ear to the door of the temple and used to hear the chiseling sound. So after 15 days, the king, he couldn't hear any sound. So what he felt, maybe the person who was carving the deities, the sculptor, so maybe he must have died. So fearing that,
లేచారా
somehow the king,
Let's go to-
he opened the doors of the temple. So when the doors were opened, so what the king saw were that the incomplete deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra and Sudarshan. So he felt very much guilty. So what he thought, maybe I did a big blunder. I should leave my body here. So the Lord the king sat there, and meantime Narad Muni arrived there, and Narad Muni he told that the Lord has a desire to appear in this form, and Narad Muni he gave all the directions how to paint Jagannath, Baldev, and Subhadra. So this way everything was done. 3 big chariots were made, and again the king he went this time to call Brahma. So Brahma he met him immediately, and Brahma he told, okay, I'll get all the demigods with me, and we'll celebrate the Rath Yatra. So this way Brahma and all the demigods they came, and there was a nice celebration of the Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath with 3 chariots. Fabulous Rath Yatra was performed. So after the finish of the Rath Yatra, now when all the demigods they went off, Brahma was about to go. So that time the king he was little nervous. So Lord Brahma he asked, yes, what is the cause of your sadness? So the king Indradumna what he told, see, I feel lonely. I don't have now anyone from my olden days. So what I see, all this crowd, they are all new to me. So that time, Brahma, he took some celestial water from his kamandalu, and he just put that water on the head of all the devotees there and on the head of the king Indradumna. So what happened? They could revive their old consciousness. 25 generations back, they were the same people. Now they were same people there serving in that dynasty. So there was a reunion of the king with all his people of the kingdom, with his queen and all the ministers and all. So then Brahma he told, I can give you some more boons. The king he told, I want to serve Jagannath every day 56 bhogas. Then Brahma said, okay. Then the king he said, I want to give the darshan of Lord to the pilgrims all 24 hours. The Brahma also agreed for that. And also the king he said, he let there be no progeny for me, so they need not to claim the temple as their own. So after pleasing Indradumna, Brahma, he went back to his abode. So it is mentioned that since that time, these Lord Jagannath pastimes are taking place. So as all of you know, in India, there are 4 dham. So in Satyuga, it is mentioned that Badrinath is the place of visit. In Treta Yuga, it is mentioned that Rameshwar is the place. And in Dwapar Yuga, it is mentioned that Dwarka is the holy place of pilgrimage. And it is mentioned that in Kali Yuga, that Jagannath Puri is the holy place of pilgrimage for all the devotees. So what we see, there are a good number of pastimes mentioned for Lord Jagannath's appearance. So our devotees, they explain there are one internal cause, one external cause. The external cause, it is mentioned that Lord Jagannath, he comes out of the temple for the Rath Yatra. So the devotees, those who are from lower caste, they will get the chance to see the Lord. So what we see during Lord Chaitanya's pastime, Sanatana Goswami, then Hardas Thakur, they never went inside the temple because they were considered from a bleacher background. So this Bhairang, an external cause, but there is another cause mentioned, that internal cause. It is mentioned that according to Lord Chaitanya, when Lord Krishna, he met the gopis at Kurukshetra, there was one eclipse, Surya Grahan was there. So when the gopis, they met the gopis, they told the Lord, what we see you in this kingly form, we can't appreciate. So why don't you come to Vrindavan? We want to see you in that same form as a covered boy. So Lord Krishna, he told the gopis, he solaced them. So he said, it will take little more time because I want to finish off all the demons on this earthly planet. So when I get free from this service, then I'll come to Vrindavan. Somehow the gopis, it is mentioned that they made a rath in their heart, a chariot, and it is mentioned that within their heart they pulled Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra to Vrindavan. So also in the Puran there is another pastime mentioned, that how the Lord, he appeared as Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. So it is mentioned that one time Narad Muni, he was visiting Dwarka. So during that period, what happened? That the kings of Lord Krishna, the 16,108 queens, they were desperate to hear Lord Krishna and Balram's childhood pastimes. So what they did, so they requested Rohini. Only Rohini was there because she had seen Lord Krishna and Balram's childhood pastimes in Vrindavan. So Rohini, she told, if Krishna and Balram, they hear these pastimes, then they will certainly leave Dwarka, they will go to Vrindavan. So we should do this pastime. We can only speak this katha in a secluded place where they can't hear. They will not be able to hear. So what they did, they went to a palace which was little far off, and all the queens, they sat in that palace, and Rohini, she started giving the pastimes of Lord Krishna and Balram. So Subhadra was stationed outside, that she was told not to let anyone inside. So also she was simultaneously, she was hearing. So what happened? So when Subhadra was also hearing, she felt that transcendental change in her body. So what we call, that is in spiritual life, what we see, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is a Ashta Satvik Vikar. Our body undergoes some change. So what happened? The Subhadra, her eyes, they became large, her mouth became big, her ears, her arms and legs, they went inside the body. She was looking like a doll. So after some time, what happened? Krishna and Balramji, they happened to pass from that place, and they were taken back just seeing Subhadra change in her body. So they came near, and they also started hearing the pastimes. So what happened? They stood behind besides Subhadra, and they also started relishing the pastime. And what happened? So Krishna and Balram, there was change in their body. Again, their eyes they turned big, the mouth became wide, their ears, hands, and legs they went inside the body. So completely they were in Ashta Sattvic Vikar. So after some time, what happened? Again, Narad Muni was going through that place, and when Narada he saw this very an astonishing form of the Lord, divine form of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. So Narada he felt so much ecstasy just seeing this form of the Lord. So Narada he started doing kirtan, and he requested the Lord, why don't you take this form? If you manifest in this form, so all the living entities, all the 84 lakh species, they will be delivered. So then Lord Jagannath ji said, okay, if you desire this, then certainly I'll do so. So it is mentioned that because just to please Narad Muni, the Lord he took this form. So in the Bhagavatam, there is one nice verse. It is mentioned, Sa Upavrata Vardam Prapannarthi Harim Anugrahaya Bhaktana Anurupatma Darshanam. So it is mentioned that just to reciprocate with the devotees, the Lord he manifests different his forms, and according to the desire of a certain devotee, the Lord he manifests a certain form. So what we see in Lord Chaitanya's pastime, so there are a good number of devotees, and the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he manifested different forms. Like for example, Murari Gupta, he's Hanumanji. So one time in his Shatparanya Leela, it is also called Mahaprakash Leela. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he manifested the form of Lord Ramchandra, Sita, and Lakshman. Also in that pastime, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he showed different forms to the different devotees. Like for example, Advaita Acharya, he showed him that universal form. There was another devotee, his name was Sridhar Kolvech. So for him, he showed the form of Krishna and Balram. So this way, what we see during Lord Chaitanya's manifest pastime, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he manifested almost all the forms of the Lord. So it is mentioned that these devotees of the Lord, they have a liking for a certain form of the Lord that is called Ishtadeva. Like in India, we have the Lord. In different places, the Lord has a different name. Like Orissa, they call Jagannath. In Maharashtra, they call Pandurang. And in this Andhra, they called Balaji. If you go to Rajasthan, they call Srinathji. If you go to Mathura Vrindavan, they like Krishna and Balram. And Dwarka, they call him as Ranachor Rai. So the same Lord, but the devotees, they appreciate the Lord in different forms. And the Lord, he takes the different forms just to please his devotees. So here, further now, we'll go to the Lord's different pastimes. So Lord Jagannath, his pastimes, they are categorized into three parts. One is called Garva Ganjan, another is called Patita Pavan, and third is called Bhakta Mana Ranjan. So Garva Ranjan means the Lord, he never appreciates if the devotees, they become puffed up. So the second category is called Patita Pavan. The Lord, he takes service from almost degraded people. So what we see in Jagannath Puri, the servitors of the Lord, there are 36 sects are there. So the Lord is accepting from there the seva. And Bhakta Manoranjan means the Lord, he does pastime to please the devotees. So now we'll go through the various different pastime places at Jagannath Puri. So I'll just put it on the screen. You can see on the screen, there is a Gundicha temple. So one day before Rath Yatra, all the devotees of the Lord, especially during Lord Chaitanya's pastime, all the devotees, they used to come and clean the Gundicha temple. So the Rath Yatra goes there. Then there is one big lake. It's called Narendra Sarovar. So from there, the devotees, they bring water to clean the temple. Also, Jagannath ji, he has water pastimes. It is called Nauka Vihar. That pastimes takes place there. Then there is one Lord Narsimhadev temple is there. So this temple is very old. It is mentioned that the Lord Narsimhadev is there in two forms. One is called Shanta Rupa and one is called Ugra Rupa. The Shanta Rupa you can see from the front. And if you want to have a look at the Ugra Rupa, then the Pujari, he takes one mirror in the back and you can see in the mirror the Ugra form of the Lord. Then there is one temple of Hanumanji on the sea beach. The Hanumanji is called Bedi Hanuman. So it is mentioned that in one pastime that Hanumanji was kept there at the ocean to guard that the ocean should not come up. So Hanumanji was giving this thing, what is the service there, but Hanumanji was not given good food. So one time Hanumanji, he went to Ayodhya because he was just eating khichdi at Jagannath Puri. So he got a news there is a big feast in Ayodhya. So when Hanumanji went off, the ocean, what it did, it completely inundated the village of all the Pandas. So the Pandas, they went and they complained to Jagannath. So after some time, what happened? Hanumanji came. The Pandas, they took Hanumanji to Lord Jagannath. So Jagannathji, he told the Pandas what they can do. They can tie Hanumanji with iron chains. So that's why the Hanumanji is called Bedi Hanuman. Then there is one small hill is there. It is of complete sand. It is a sand dune. So it is called Chatak Parvat. Seeing this hill, small hill, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to remember Jagannath, he used to remember Giriraj Govardhan. So that hill is called Chatak Parvat. Then there is a place, it is called Gambhira, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he lived there for 18 years. Then further we have another place called Siddha Bakul. That one time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was given a toothpick of Lord Jagannath during his Mangala Aarti. So after some time when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to meet Hardas Thakur, so it was daytime and the sun was very hot. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he put that small toothpick in the ground, and to the surprise of all the devotees, a big bakul tree was manifest within no time. So that place is called Siddha Bakul, where Hardas Thakur used to sit down and chant 192 rounds every day. Then there is another nice temple. It's called Tota Gopinath. This temple is there where we see that Lord is sitting over there and he's taking service. So it is mentioned that when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas, Gadadhar Pandit, he took Kshetra sannyas, and Gadadhar Pandit used to stay and serve the Lord in this temple. And it is mentioned that when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared in this deity, so Gadadhar Pandit, he was feeling separation from Lord Chaitanya. So seeing the physical condition of Gadadhar Pandit, so the Lord, he himself sat down. This very beautiful deity is called Tota Gopinath. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come and hear every day Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. So then there is a place at the ocean, it's called Sudarshan Tir. So it is mentioned that the Lord, he appeared there in from the ocean, from the Vaikuntha, in the form of wooden logs. Then we have Jagannath Vallabh garden. So during Rath Yatra, oftentimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to take a small break. So the king of Odisha that time, King Pratap Rudra, somehow he was not getting the association of Lord Chaitanya. And the devotees also, they were planning somehow to get Pratap Rudra to have Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's darshan. So they coined one idea that since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not going to give direct darshan to this king, so they told the king that during the Rath Yatra, he should change his attire like a servant, and at a certain place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and lies down, there he should wait for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come. So what happened? So during Rath Yatra, the same thing happened, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came there, he lied down there. So the king, he started massaging the feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and simultaneously he started singing the Gopi Geet, Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jeevanam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became so happy with the king. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him, and the king somehow he got solace. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave him his one small cloth of peace. So then we have another temple. It is called Alarnath Mandir. It is about 25 kilometers away from Jagannath Puri. That place is called Brahmagiri. So there you will find the deities of the Lord, four-handed form, like Balaji. So these deities is four-handed black deities of Lord Vishnu. It's called Alarnath. So these deities, they belong to one of the this 9 alvars of Sri Sampradaya. So during Anvastra means when Lord Jagannath, they become sick during this Snan Yatra. So that time there is no darshan of the Lord for 15 days. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come to this place, Alarnath, and there is one stone. Now also it is there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to lie down on that stone, and oftentimes he used to take the darshan of Lord Alarnath. Then there is another very beautiful pastime, deities of Sakshi Gopal in Jagannath Puri. So it is mentioned that one time two brahmanas, one was elderly and one was young brahmana. So they went on a spiritual pilgrimage to different parts of India. And when they came to Vrindavan, that old brahmana, he felt so much obliged to young brahmana. So what he told, I have one small young daughter. She is now of marriageable age. When we go back, with the consent of my family, I'll marry my daughter with you. Now, he gave the words to young brahmana. So actually this thing happened in front of this Gopalji in Vrindavan. So young brahmana, he reminded that old brahmana, see, you are giving these words in front of the Lord. Later on, you should not pull back. So they came after their this thing pilgrimage. So they were living in one village called Vallabh Vidyanagar. So 1 year passed, and this young brahmana, what he saw, this old brahmana, he never came and told him about what he had promised. So this one day, young brahmana, he went to the old brahmana and he reminded him, see, you had promised me that you will marry your daughter to me. So what happened to that? So the old brahmana, meantime, what happened? His family members, what they say, this brahman is too poor, we can't marry our daughter to him. So if you do such thing, then we'll take poison and we'll end up our life. So fearing that brahmana, what we say, whatever I told, somehow I can't remember. And this old brahmana, his eldest son, he was totally agnostic. He was an atheist. So what he told this young brahmana, you give some drugs to my father, and you took this wordings from him. So you are not having that qualification to marry with my sister. So better you get lost. So the young Brahmana, he went to the village panchayat and he told the village panchayat that this is what has happened. So the village panchayat, they said, okay, if you say that this old Brahmana, he gave this words in front of the deities, then you have to get the Lord as a witness. If you bring the Lord here as a witness, then only we agree that yes, this thing has happened over there in Vrindavan. So this young Brahmana, he said, okay, now you put it in writing, whatever you are speaking, and later on you should not say we didn't say like this. So they made an affidavit. Then this young Brahmana, he took the journey again to Vrindavan. So he came to Vrindavan and he told the Lord whatever has happened. So the somehow Lord, he reciprocated with this Brahmana. So the Lord said, see, I am just standing over here. Have you ever seen any deities walking? So the Brahmana said, if you can speak, why can't you walk? So the Lord, he agreed. The Lord said, okay, I will be walking behind you. You can hear my the sound from my ankle bells. So every day you offer me some rice. So this way the Lord with this Brahmana, he started walking from Vrindavan all the way to Vallabh Vidyanagar, which is almost 1,500 kilometers. So after some times, the Brahmana, he arrived there and he was very much desperate to look at the Lord. And the moment he arrived in the village, he looked back and to his surprise, the Lord was there in his self same form. So all the villagers, they came to know that Lord has arrived there. So all the villagers, they felt very much happy. So these deities now, they are in Jagannath Puri. There is one temple 11 kilometers on the way to Bhubaneswar. Then there is one nice pastime place called Indradumna Sarovar. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's all devotees, especially male devotees, they used to go and bathe in this lake and they used to play one game of flashing water on face of other devotees. The game is called Khaya Khaya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to make group of two devotees, pair of so he used to pair Advaita Acharya and so then further we have Bhakti Siddhanta, he was born, the spiritual master of Prabhupada. So he was born there because Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was magistrate there for some time. And he had requested Lord Jagannath to send one of his associates to help him in preaching Krishna consciousness. So it is mentioned that one time when Bhakti Siddhanta was born, he was a small baby. The mother, what happened that one day when the Rath Yatra cart, it stood in front of the house of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So this lady, she bought this small baby and she put this baby in front of Lord Jagannath. And to the surprise of all the bystanders, so a garland of Lord Jagannath, it fell on the body of Bimla Prasad. He was named as Bimla Prasad in his childhood. Then we have Hardas Thakur Samadhi. So Hardas Thakur also migrated to Jagannath Puri since he was chanting 192 rounds. So one time he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he wants to leave his body in his lap. So somehow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he agreed, and when he left his body, so when Hardas Thakur, he left the body in the lap of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to the ocean, and from the ocean, after bathing Hardas Thakur, he bought the body of Hardas Thakur and he made a samadhi for Hardas Thakur. Later on, he went to the market, it's called Anand Bazaar, and from there he collected Mahaprasad and he sumptuously fed all the devotees. So this pastime took place there. And also there is one Lord Shiva's temple, it's called Yameshwar Tota. Then there is a Shweta Ganga, where Ganga got manifested. Then there is a one place is called Atharanala. Atharanala means where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed, and all the associates, when they used to come from Bengal, there was one devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His name was Shivananda Sen. Shivananda Sen used to gather all the devotees from Bengal, and he used to bring them to Jagannath Puri. And they used to walk for like 1 month from Bengal to Jagannath Puri, and 1 month again going back, staying 4 months. Chaturmas, they used to spend the Chaturmas with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, because he was a big scholar, also there is the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Then in the temple courtyard of Jagannath temple, there are a good number of small other temples are there. There is one temple of Vimla Devi. So the Jagannath Prasad, after offering to Lord Jagannath, this Prasad is brought to Vimla Devi, and Vimla Devi, she distributes this Prasad to all the demigods. Then also Jagannath has one auntie, it's called Mausi. So her temple is there. Then also Lakshmi Devi's temple is there in the Jagannath temple courtyard on the left side. Then there is a place called Balagandi, where during Rath Yatra, it is a midway towards Gundicha temple, where all the visitors, those who come for Rath Yatra, the pilgrims, whatever prasadam they bring from home, they offer to Jagannath at this place. Then during Lord Chaitanya's stay in Jagannath Puri, he had 10 sannyasi associates. There was one sannyasi by name Puri Goswami. So at his place there was a small well, but the water was not good. So when the devotees they informed Lord Chaitanya about this, so Lord Chaitanya he prayed to Ganga to manifest in that well, and Ganga she manifested there. Also at Jagannath Puri, at the ocean side, there is a place called Swargadwar, where they bury all and they burn all the dead bodies. Then within the temple, there is a one small kund, Rohini Kund, Kashi Mishra's house. To Jagannath Puri, if you go, there are a good number of rules and regulations which are followed from the olden time. So the time doesn't permit, but there are certain these things. When a pastimes of Lord Jagannath, many devotees they call Jagannath is large-hearted. The Lord Jagannath is very liberal in the sense of what they explain, that Lord Jagannath he comes out of the temple once a year to give darshan to the devotees who don't get a chance to go inside the temple. Also, the Lord Jagannath is always standing with his both arms and pointing towards the devotees. He is ready to embrace them anytime. Then it is mentioned that the Lord Jagannath he agrees to take service from any low caste devotees. So there are 36 sects of devotees who serve Lord Jagannath, from making that earthen pot to cutting wood, making chariot, making Jagannath cloths, cooking for Jagannath, dressing Jagannath, doing his aarti. So there are now also from the olden time, these 36 sects still they are intact. They are serving Lord Jagannath unitedly. Then every day Jagannath darshan, 23 hours there is Lord Jagannath darshan. So one of the best darshan of Lord Jagannath is at night 11 o'clock. At that darshan, it is mentioned that all the demigods they also come over there. Then also it is mentioned that the devotees of Lord Jagannath, pujaris, they can go to the Lord after taking prasad. There is no hard and fast rule that they have to go empty stomach. They can take full meal and they can go. Then during the Rath Yatra, it is mentioned that the Lord is out of the temple, and during the Rath Yatra, anyone can come and embrace the Lord. There is no hard and fast rule that anyone can come and embrace. A good number of devotees, they take the chance to embrace the Lord. Then it is mentioned that Jagannath's birthday, it falls on the day of Snan Yatra. Actually, Snan Yatra, simultaneously, the Lord, he becomes sick for 15 days. So that period is called Anuvastra. So no food is offered to Lord Jagannath for this 15 days. So this year, now the Anuvastra period is going on. So on 30th June, there will be Netrosava. They completely paint the deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. So a big crowd gets gathered for the darshan of the Lord. So on that day, the Lord is being offered prasad in the afternoon. Then also there is one nice market called Anand Bazaar at Jagannath Puri, where you get varieties of prasads which are being served to Lord Jagannath. So it is mentioned that the Lord Jagannath is offered 56 varieties of items, and there are 52 times offerings are done to Lord Jagannath. Then it is mentioned that the Lord, especially to reciprocate with the devotees, he gets sick. Then also what we see that Lord during the Pitru Paksha, Lord Jagannath, he does that Tarpan pastime. It is called Shad Leela. In Jagannath Puri, the Lord, he does Shraddha of his parents, Vasudev and Devaki. Also, Jagannath temple has 4 doors for the Sevites. The front door is basically for the visitors. And then in the back, there is one big large door on the left side, right side. They are named as the front gate, it is called lion door. The back, they are called tiger doors. And left side, they are called Ashwa, means horse door. Then the left side, they are called Hasti Dwar, elephant door. These are the 4 doors. Then throughout the year in Jagannath Puri, there are a good number of pastimes and especially festivals celebrated. The Chandan Yatra is celebrated for 42 days. Then after Snan Yatra, Anuvastra, there is a Netrosava, then there is a Rath Yatra and Pahandi Mahotsav. Then there is a Hera Panchami, where Lakshmi goes there to call Jagannath back. And after that, there is a Niladri Biji. Niladri Biji means when Jagannath Ji comes back to again the temple. That time he is dressed in complete gold ornaments. Then during Chaturmas also a good number of pastimes and festivals being celebrated. Then there is a Janmashtami, Dasra festivals celebrated. Then there is a complete Kartik festival celebration, Diwali. Then there is a Dol Yatra. One festival is there called Odana Shashti. During winter, they cover Jagannath with cold cloths. Then there is a Nauka Vihar of Lord Jagannath. Then there is a one pastime called Gupta Gundicha. Also, they bathe Jagannath Ji with flowers. It's called Pushabhishek Mahotsav. It takes place in the month of January. So you can see on the screen, these are the 56 items which are offered to Lord Jagannath every day on the everyday basis. And now, because there is no much time left, it is already 8:15. So occasionally at every 8 years, 12 years or 19 years, there is a pastime called Navakaleva. There are 4 scriptures where it is mentioned that Brahma Yamal, Rudra Yamal, Tantra Yamal, Niladri Mahoday, that how this Navakaleva, where they bring 4 trees, cut them, and from that they make the new deities of Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra. So how to celebrate this festival, that is mentioned in those scriptures. This happens every 12 to 14 or 19 years. And then you can see on the screen that Subhadra's chariot, it is called Devat Darpan, Padma Dhwaj, Deva Dalan also it is called. Balramji's chariot it is called Tala Dhwaja, and Jagannathji's chariot is called Nandi Ghosh, Garuda Dhwaja, Kapi Dhwaja. So every year Jagannathji is offered 24 new costumes. Now there is no time to explain, to go in detail. So I'll now read out the list of devotees of Lord Jagannath. Was one poet, he was Muslim, his name was Sala Beg. There was one devotee called Kalicha Mahapatra, Dasya Bauri, Bandhu Mohanty. There was a king by name Purushottam Dev. Also there was a king by name Kulshekar Maharaj. There was one devotee, Gita Panda, then Vibhishan, brother of Ravana. There was another devotee, Raghu Das. There was a milk selling lady, her name was Manika Devi. Then there was a princess called Vishnu Priya. Then there was a tailor, he was living in Delhi, his name was Paramesti. Also there was one devotee from Karnataka, he was visiting, his name was Ganesh Bhatt. So he wanted to see Jagannath ji in the form of Lord Jagannath, because this Ganesh Bhatt, he was a devotee of Lord Jagannath. So now the time is 8:15. So you can give me any instruction if you want. Now already one hour over. Hare Krishna. Sri Jagannath Swami ki.
Jai. Wonderful. I think Lilananda Prabhu, can we continue some more time? Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I'm trying to call Prabhuji just to tell him that. One second. Some Saraswati Mati, you send me the number, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
I saved it, then again it's lost. Devananda Pandit.
Prabhuji, can you send it again, Prabhuji?
Yeah, 1 second. Devananda Pandit Prabhu. I'm calling it.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Prabhuji, all goes to Prabhupada Gurudev. This is Lilananda Das Prabhu calling from Hyderabad.
Okay, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, what can we say? We are completely awestruck and stunned, hearing the pastimes of Jagannath from you. We literally feel our souls are in Jagannath right now, and it's not fair on your part to leave us like that. If you can please continue for some more time,
Okay. So
yeah.
now what I'll do, I'll speak pastimes of the devotees, the reciprocation of Lord Jagannath. Next 15 minutes, I'll speak about
Yeah.
Lord reciprocating with the devotees of the Lord.
Yes.
So I'll speak 3 pastimes
Yeah.
of. There was one devotee, his name was Raghu Das, Manika Devi, and Princess Vishnu Priya.
And Prabhuji, one other request, if you can please also tell about the different dresses that are given on to Lord Jagannath, if that's okay. We have more half an hour time. Prabhu,
Maybe what we'll do next time, if you give me a chance, that next time I'll completely show the pictures with the 12 months. It will take long time to speak.
Oh, sure. So that means you are giving us
program.
So that means you are giving us mercy again.
In my next class, I'll speak elaborately on the different dresses of Jagannath.
Yeah. Prabhuji, is next Ekadashi okay with you? Next Ekadashi is okay with you?
Yeah. Now I'll speak the pastimes of two devotees. So one devotee, his name was Raghu Das. So it is mentioned that Raghu Das was a very close confidential devotee of Lord Jagannath, and all Jagannath Puri, including the king, everyone knew about Raghu Das. So he was a celibate and he was a very austere devotee. So one time what happened, the Lord Jagannath came in the dream of Raghu Das, and he told Raghu Das, see, in King's garden now there are a good number of jackfruits are grown and they are all ripe. So I like jackfruits very much. That is my favorite fruit. So Jagannath, what he told, when they offer me in the offering, somehow I don't get the taste. But what I feel, if we go and steal, the taste will be multiplied 10 times more. So better you accompany me to tonight. We'll go and steal some jackfruits from the king's garden. So Raghudas, he said, okay, we'll go. So when the evening twilight came, so Jagannath, he accompanied Raghudas, and Raghudas and Jagannath ji, they went to the king's garden. So there what happened, the Jagannath, he told that I am too fat, I can't climb the tree. So what you do, you climb the tree and you pluck one big jackfruit and you throw down, I'll hold it, then we'll eat it here. So Raghudas, he went up and he plucked one big jackfruit and he told Jagannath, okay, now I am just leaving this fruit from the top. You have to hold it very carefully. If it falls off, then there will be a big sound and the guards will come running and they may catch us. So Jagannath said, okay. So Raghudas, he just let the fruit go from the top. So what happened? Because the jackfruit has small like nails type. So what happened when Jagannath ji he caught? So he got that bruised by this the outer skin of jackfruit. Somehow he let the fruit go down, and there was a big sound. So hearing that sound, the guards they came running, and seeing that the guards coming, Jagannath ran off. So now Raghudas was there on the treetop. So the guards, they were analyzing how this fruit fell off, and they could see that on the treetop, Raghudas is sitting. So they called him, come down. And to the surprise of the guard, what they said, you are such a big devotee of the Lord. How come you are stealing this small jackfruit? So Raghudas somehow he didn't tell the truth. He kept quiet. So the gods they took Raghudas to the king, and the king he told, okay, put him in the prison. So that night the Lord gave dream Jagannath to the king, and he told, see, actually what happened, I took Raghudas, he is my good devotee. So you better leave off Raghudas. So that way, now what here we see, the Lord is reciprocating with the devotees. So then this Manika Devi, very nice pastime. It is mentioned that one time the king, he was to go on a big war on the neighboring king. So the king, previous night, he came to the Lord and he petitioned Krishna and Balram. Said, tomorrow I am going for the war. Oh Lord, I want your blessing. And even if you accompany me, it will be better. So that way he prayed to the Lord and he went to sleep. So next day, what happened? Two persons on horses, they were riding before the king, like about 10 kilometers before the king. And they were going through a village called Manikapur. So there what happened, this both, Krishna and Balramji, they were disguised. And there was a lady, she was selling the buttermilk. So they told this lady, we are thirsty, why don't you give your buttermilk? So this lady, she gave all the complete buttermilk. And she told, yes, you should give me some bakshis. So Krishna and Balramji, they said, we don't have any money to give. So Krishna, what he did, Jagannath ji, he took out one ring and he told, this is a very valuable. So the king is coming from behind. So you give this to the king and you take the money from him. So what happened after some time? So when the king came with his army, this lady, she stopped the king. And the king was shown this diamond ring by this lady. The king was surprised. How come, how you got this? Then she told how these two warriors, they went ahead. So they gave me this ring. So the king could understand, yes, the Lord has gone in the front to fight on his behalf. Then about the princess Vishnu Priya. So there was one small girl of 5 years old. This pastime is from Rajasthan. So there was one Panda after Jagannath Rath Yatra. Every year he used to go to Rajasthan at one place called Ajmer somewhere. And there he used to carry Mahaprasad of Lord Jagannath, because that king was a big devotee of Lord Jagannath. So one time what happened, this Panda, after Rath Yatra, he went to this kingdom of this king. And this king had this small daughter, 5 years old. Her name was Vishnu Priya. So oftentimes this Vishnu Priya, she used to hear Lord Krishna's Vrindavan pastime. And one time she was told that what happened, that the gopis of Vrindavan, they have stolen the heart of Lord Krishna. So now Lord Krishna, he has lost his heart. Sometimes you can see that devotees, they wear a t-shirt, I have lost my heart in Vrindavan. So this girl, because she was 5 years old, so what she was feeling, now Jagannath doesn't have any heart. Maybe I should give my heart to Jagannath. So when this Panda was visiting, what she did, she took one letterhead and she wrote, "Oh Lord Jagannath, that I heard that the gopis, they have stolen your heart. Now since you don't have a heart, so what I feel, I'll give my heart. You don't worry, I am giving my heart. So please take my heart." So now because she was 5 years old, so she wrote this in a nice, beautiful writing, and she enclosed that letter in one basket, and she handed over that basket to the Panda. He was about to go within a 2 days time. So what happened? This Panda, he was little greedy. So what he thought, maybe that princess, he has given some jewelry to the Lord of gold or diamond, something like that. So on the way, every day he was feeling like to open that packet. Somehow he was held back. So just one day before, when he was about to arrive to Jagannath Puri, somehow his unsteady mind, he couldn't control. He opened that basket, and to his surprise, he didn't find anything gold or silver or diamond, but he found one paper, as he was not much educated. So what he felt, there's nothing of valuable in this basket. So he threw that basket on the outskirts of Jagannath Puri. He went home and he went to sleep. So in the middle of the night, what happened? Lord Jagannath ji, he came in the dream and he woke up this Panda and he gave him a nice sleep, a nice beating on his cheeks. So he said, "Oh Lord, please forgive me, please forgive me." So the Lord Jagannath, he told, "See, there was a princess. She gave you one letter, and you fool, you have thrown that letter in the garbage. Come immediately, come to the temple. I'll give you a nice beating." So this Panda, he felt so much fearful. Now he took his shower, he went to the temple. And when he entered the temple, to his surprise, what he saw, that paper which had thrown on the way, on the outskirts of Jagannath Puri. So he saw that paper on the chest of Lord Jagannath. And seeing this, he was totally bewildered. So what we see, wherever we are living and serving Lord Jagannath, so Jagannath, he will reciprocate, because Jagannath is none other than Lord Krishna. Also, I had one god brother, he was in Bombay. This very like 25 years back. So every year he used to go to Jagannath Puri and he used to play mridang during the Rath Yatra. So for a long year and a good number of years, he was going to Jagannath Puri and he used to play mridang. But one year, what happened? He somehow, before going to sleep, before one day before, he prayed to Lord Jagannath that, "Oh Jagannath, I want to play a nice mridang for you for tomorrow during the entire Rath Yatra. But since I come early there, a good amount of time is wasted. I feel fatigued. So if you inform me exactly what time Rath Yatra starts, I'll come on time." So this way, thinking in his mind, he went to sleep. And what happened, to his surprise, he had a dream in which Jagannath ji, he gave him the dream that yes, tomorrow the Rath Yatra will begin sharp at 1 o'clock. And to his surprise, he arrived there on time. And the Rath Yatra started exactly at 1 o'clock. So this way, what we see, there are a good number of devotees in ISKCON also. They are with Jagannath ji. Also in Bombay, they used to celebrate every year at Dadar. Also in Bombay, there are also a good number of devotees. They often share their pastimes. So this way, there is no end to Lord Jagannath's pastimes. Yesterday, I called one devotee, my close friend, who's a very adherent devotee of Lord Jagannath. So he told this year there is a crowd of 25 lakhs coming for Jagannath Rath Yatra. And what he told, the people, they started coming last from Snan Yatra itself. So this way, wherever we are, we can pray to Lord Jagannath that he will keep us on the track to serve him throughout our life. So I'm very, very grateful for giving me this opportunity to serve you all. So Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. I'm so sure that all the devotees on the call today would want to have personal conversation with you, but it's so unfortunate that the audio is not permitting for some reason. So on all their behalf, we would want to thank you with 3 loud Haribols. Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari
Bol,
Bol, Hari Bol, Hari
Prabhuji,
Bol.
there is nothing more auspicious and there is nothing more glorious than hearing Lord's pastimes, that too from a devotee like your grace. Actually, we got introduced to you because of His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. Radhesham Prabhu is the one who manages our satsang here, our group. And few devotees, Saraswati Mataji and Surendra Prabhu, were traveling to Vrindavan. So I requested Radhesham Prabhu if we can have some devotee to guide them in Vrindavan. And it is the Lord's, arrangement that you were the one who took care of them. And now by their, their access, we got access to you, and you have so nicely given us the Katha of Jagannath Puri. Prabhuji, I've never heard the pastime so elaborately and so clearly. I really felt this class should not stop. It should just keep going on and on. And Prabhu, we want your blessings and prayers, because we are planning to do 3 Rath Yatras this year in our locality. And we hope that Lord Jagannath will bless us with that opportunity. And we are also building a small Rath of its own kind because we don't have one. So please pray for us, Prabhuji, that we don't commit any offenses and we serve to the pleasure of Lord Jagannath.
Yes. I'll certainly play. I'll be in Vrindavan. Also in Vrindavan we have at Mathura Rath Yatra. So thank you again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Prabhupada, Sri Jagannath
Jai.
Swami ki. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, all devotees are telling that Dandavat Pranam to you, Prabhuji.
You have to solve 15 papers
Thank
and
you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you all for joining, and I'm sure you're all excited and more motivated to serve Lord Shri Jagannath. The Rath is happening. It's being made as we speak. So please make yourself available for the 1st of July. As I told, there is a big service for our group in the Jagannath Rath Yatra in Abbots. So please bring your friends and yourself, make yourself available from morning till night, So no office that day, no business that day. So please make yourself available like that. Hare Krishna. Nithaigor Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam.